Hi everybody, Nancy here. All right, today I'm doing a do-over video. I haven't shown you this particular one right here. You see I created it on the 8th of the month. I was showing you how to create a sticker book in seconds using the new PDF grids. And I'm going to show you that video. I thought about not doing it, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you embedded in this video. But I wanted to let you know that since then, since I did that video, he's come up with an even better way of doing it using tables and existing symbols to create a sticker book. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, I'm sure he's probably already done a video. If not, you know, the list of things that he created this past week is pretty clear, so you can figure it out yourself. But I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple of tips about using it. So next I'm going to embed the video that I did first using PDF grids because it's cool. And then I'm going to show you how to use a table to do the same exact thing, okay? So here's the other video. Hi everybody, Nancy here. Today I'm going to show you how to create a sticker book in just seconds. AKA using the import PDF grid function that we just got this last update. Now, I'm not real sure what it was created for. I don't think it was necessarily created for what I'm going to do with it. But that's the first thing I do is like, well, okay, how would I use it? And what can I do with it? And I had the idea, well, you know what? We could create a grid of all of our ping files and have kind of like a table of contents kind of a thing, aka a sticker book. And we can put all our stickers from one designer, you know. And I will say that you have to be very, very careful of this to not overdo it, because the first one I created became a monster. I wanted to put every single sticker I ever bought ever in one document. Well, you cannot do that, okay? Let me just say that up front. Don't try it, because it will crash you faster than anything. You know, after a couple of crashes, Ed said, nah, you know, see what you can do about limiting that just a little bit. You know, do a couple of those. Let me first show you what I'm talking about here. If you go to your folder that you purchased some stickers now, and you want to pull them into your book, what you need to do is go to your folder, and I'm going to select it and drag the folder over to the left so that I have both of them open here. And now I've already done this. Let me delete it. And this is my downloads, and this is the stickers from this one particular company. And I'm going to hit select all. And down at the bottom it says more. Well, if you click on more, create PDF. So it's going to create a single document with all the images. Yes. All right, now let me go ahead and I need to go. Okay. Now see, all of these files are real small. They're like 2K, 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 4K, you know, but so it ended up being 269K, which is not that bad. That's like really good. And what it did, I don't know if you noticed, but it took the name of the first ping file that it was up at the top, and it created the PDF file using the same exact name, which is okay. It can do that because, you know, they're two different kinds of files. So the same name doesn't hurt. But now all I have to do is hold down on it, drag and drop it into my document. There's your PDF grid option. Click on it, and there you have it. cool is that? Now see, and it's just so tempting to just keep going because it's so fun and so, but, maybe in one package, do everything that comes with that. You know how they do. If you've ever, I'll go ahead and say it. If you've ever used GoodNotes, 99.5% of the people that design will create a stamp book of their product, whatever they're selling. And, keep it that size. Not everything that person does. Although I'm going to try to push that limit. Or, maybe you could have a book of just washi tapes, or, just be aware that you could create a monster doing this. See, if I go to a different file, I'm not real sure. Let's see. See, here's all her tapes. If I select all, more, create PDF. Can you tell this tickles me? And and now it's done. It's created it. So I click on it, hold it down, drag and drop it. PDF grid. And there you have it. And you think, so what good does that do me? Because you are going to have to select it a different way. You're going to have to grab it. You're not going to be able to just select it because it is one big chunk. So you need to grab. So this is the beauty of this PDF. No matter how big or small it is, the resolution is the same as when it was created. So see how tiny that little grab is? But if I go ahead and grab it, I probably should have done something with text on it, but that's okay. I'm going to tap off, do copy, now paste. Now see how small? But if I drag, watch, the resolution's perfect. It's perfect. So now I will need to take this into transparency to get rid of the white. But isn't it nice to be able to just look and see all of that stuff in one place? That makes my heart happy. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull it into transparency. And now I can just go to my little handy dandy toolbar up at the top. Click on transparency, tap. There you have it. Save. But now it's ready to use. And I would not... you can use it this way and do it the way I just did it. Or just use it kind of like as a reference to see what you have by this particular artist. And again, try to keep it... try not to go too crazy because I just want to, But anyway, that's one thing we can do with that. Now, I've thought of a couple of other things, but I'll do different videos for that because it's totally different direction. Okay, so that's one way of creating a sticker book. And that's what I started doing with this one. However, see, that's one PDF grid. But the problem with it, you notice you've got all that white around it, and that's the PDF is causing that. Whenever it generates the PDF, it puts the white around each image, so you'll have to take it to transparency or grab it right to get rid of the white. And that's the way I was creating this book. However, during the week, Ed added a new function, a new way of doing it, which is so cool. Now, if you create a table right here, create a table, and then you go to your existing symbols that you've already added already. Now I'm going to not do this one. I'm going to do a different one. Let's say I'm going to do this. Now these are all background sheets, so they might be large in size. I don't know. But if I wanted to put all of these on here, now I can tell just by looking that that's more than the cells I have available over on the right. So either you have to count, I guess that's one way. I probably should do 5 columns since that's the way it's created here. So that's 5 columns, and I'll change my table to, oops, let me delete that. Change my table to be 5 columns. That way I'm more consistent and I can kind of judge how many I'm grabbing. So I do 5 and there. Okay, I'm going to use that. Go back to symbols, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So I'm going to select 7 rows here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That way I know that I've got the right number of cells in my table for the number that I've got selected. What happens if I select more than is available? Well, first, let me just show you what's going to happen. If I don't deal with the table, if I just do as is and click on the little plus sign, see you've got your trash can, you've got your up arrow down at the bottom, and the arrow to the right. Now you've got a plus sign. If you click on that and you watch the little gray, it turns gray. See, it stacks them all up. See, good grief. I don't know why I started doing all this. Let me do it. Okay, so if I select my table and I go back to the symbol and I click on that same plus sign, see all my pages are still selected. I like that. So I've got my table selected. I click on the plus sign. It goes gray. And see how it places them all perfectly on the page. And now these are individual symbols, just like they were if you pulled them in as a symbol. And you're able to use them with, the way you always would. So if I split the screen, if I go to my tools and I do split screen, and I just open any other document, this one. See, now I can just drag and drop it over from one side to the next. So it's just a way of seeing more there, easier. It really isn't that much of a difference between doing it that way or doing it this way. Do done and drag and drop it. So, I guess what you're buying is the ability to see things and arrange things in your sticker book the way you want to arrange them. You can do it. You can do it with the symbols, and like I said, I like symbols just as is, but some people just like their sticker books. And again, you can create a sticker book that looks just like the one that you would have used in other packages, if that's something that you want to do. Now, let me show you something about this. Let me delete that. Now, the deal is, let me select everything. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this yet or not, but under Filter, he has added the PDF grid. See down at the bottom? So I don't have that selected. I'm just going to get rid of everything but what was already there, which was that PDF grid. And the table, let's see. Yeah, I'm just getting rid of images so the table will be safe too. So I delete it. Now, what happens if you select, I want to select the table. I want to go to my symbols again. And let's say I want to select 1, 2, 3. Well, select, Nancy, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I do it to my table now, do the plus sign, see it fills the first 4 spots. Now, if I did it again, right on top of it, the way it is now, if I click it again with 4 selected, it's going to stack on top of each other. No, it didn't, because I didn't have it selected. Select it. Go back. What it doesn't do is, what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't go to the next empty cell. It places everything on top of everything again. So if I go back to the symbols and I take those 4 and I click on the plus sign, it's going to stack them. So now I've got 2 of each of the same thing. You don't want to do that. So instead of doing that, what you can do is drag it down, and it won't backfill, but it will, or start from where it was empty. But all you have to do is drag that down, go back to symbols, and change the selection. I'm going to do done, and I'm going to select something else. I'm going to select, well, let me go up the top. Okay, now if I do the plus sign, see, darn, I didn't have the table selected. That's the hardest part, so remember to select the dumb table. All right, again, go back to the symbols menu. I've got my table selected. Now I click on the plus sign, and it's grayed out. Okay, so now I decide I want to add some more. I'm not going to be able to do it where the cell is now. I'm going to have to drag my table down so that it's putting it in the right spot. So I know that I can do 10 more, so I'll go ahead and go back to the symbols, and I'm going to do done, and now I'm going to select again and just do 2 rows and do the plus sign, and it will fill in the top 2 rows there. And now I just move my table out of the way, and I'm creating my pretty new little grid. So cool. Now I need to get rid of some of this stuff. Now just keep in mind that you are creating a monster every time you do add all these different things. Let's see how big this document has grown. See, it's 144.2 megs. If I delete all that I just created, delete that, and look at it again, go to the Z, see, I'm back down to 14. So adding all those pictures affects the size of your document. I can't warn you enough about that. You get it. Okay, just know that it will start to slow down, and it affects your productivity, for lack of a better word. Okay, so wonderful new tool, table in the plus sign. All right, now what happens, let's say your table is that big and you select more than the table holds. Let me change the number of cells in it. I'm going to do 2 by 3, so I've got 6 cells available, and if I select the symbols, and see, I've got too many selected. It's filled in the 6, but it also put the extra ones in a stack somewhere else on the screen. But so if you have more selected than you have available spaces for it, it will stack them up somewhere else on the screen. Okay, so that's that for using tables to place symbols. Now you can also do that with indexes now, which is awesome. I am so sorry. I keep thinking of things that I wanted to tell you guys, so this video is going to be real choppy. I apologize. But something else I wanted to show you, whenever you create your table, now let me create one. on top of this. Let's say I want to, that's close enough. I want to change the numbering on this table. Instead of having these little tiny numbers, I'm going to use a different way. I want to put some little images there. So I go to my symbols, close out of that, go to numbers. Numbers, Nancy. Element. Okay, and I've got all these different numbers. So I decide I want to use, wow, I've got a lot of multiples there. I need to delete some stuff. But what I wanted to tell you was that it goes in the order that you select them, which is an awesome thing. So if I want to pull in 27, I select it. Oh, I need to push select. Select 27, 28, 29, 30, and then I can go back up to 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And select the table. No, select the table. All right, then go back to symbols. Now click on the plus. See, it's in the right order. 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3. That's awesome. I love that it does that. However, do you notice how big it is? So you can either do, pull it in that way and reduce it this way, or you can start with a smaller table and your numbers will automatically all be the right size. So now I can just drag and drop the 27, the 28, 29. So easy. That's underneath there, so I can't do it. Let's see. Delete that. So that's how easy it is to replace your numbers with little images of numbers. Okay? Okay, wait. Before you leave, I have one more quick tip for you. What I have learned is that if you've got a ton of symbols like I've got, I've got a ton. Once I finish a folder and I've put them onto a symbol page or in a book like this, what I will do is change the name of the folder. Let's pretend that I've put everything where I want it to be. I'll click on this folder here, the name, and just go to the emojis and add something that will stand out to me to the first character. So now I'm done. And see, now that sorted it because I've got it sorted by name right now. Done. But see, I have the red dots down at the bottom, or well, they're in the middle now. But it's the bottom of all the folders. So I know I've already done that and I don't have to fool with it anymore. Okay? Good tip, promise. And if you decide to put stuff in different books, you might change your dots or whatever. All right. Okay. Y'all have a great day here. Bye.